Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. In today's gaming news, are drugs taking over eSports, Tomb Raider gets a launch window, and Rocket League takes the internet by storm. It feels like it wasn't that long ago where there was this huge controversy about drugs in professional sports between football and baseball and pretty much any sport that you can name, issues with their athletes taking performance-enhancing drugs. Well, it looks like that problem has now made its way into esports. Last week, professional Counter-Strike player Corey Semphis Fryson admitted that his team and most, if not all, other teams were on Adderall during their ESL tournaments. He states that this is a common occurrence and quite obvious to anyone who's paying attention. Frankly, we've been hearing reports about things like this for years, but no one has actually stepped up to try to do anything about it. Well, that's gonna change. This week, the ESL announced that they will be taking measures to drug test participants in future events, saying we are hoping to have a waterproof strategy for identifying PEDs, testing for their presence, and punishing players who were caught using any of the forbidden substances. You know, this frankly isn't all that surprising. People using anything to help their performance in competitive environments is quite commonplace. As I mentioned at the start, we've had this issue with professional sports and now esports with taking anything that basically helps them improve their focus and attention, Adderall being one of the big culprits here. Now, there's lots of things you can do to make yourself better and perform better. You can get a good night's sleep, you can have a good meal, you can take coffee, for example, but there are certain things which you should be able to take, and one of those is controlled substances used primarily in the treating of ADD. You know, this is something that you have to get a prescription for. Now, unfortunately, it's very easy to get a prescription for that kind of thing nowadays, even if you don't really have ADD. It's a big debate, and I don't want to sit here talking about drugs all day, but what I will say is if people aren't using it just to fix any disorders that they have, and they're using it to enhance their performance in competitions where money is involved, yeah, that's a problem. And yeah, competitive environments and tournament organizers should probably look into making this a priority if they want their competitions to be taken seriously. Next up, we have a launch date for the next Tomb Raider game. Square Enix announced today that Rise of the Tomb Raider launches on Xbox platforms this November, with the PC version coming in early 2016 and the PS4 version later during the holiday 2016. This next installment looks to put more emphasis on the tomb raiding and less on torturous death sequences. Those were absolutely horrendous. I mean, I enjoyed the game, but man, oh man, getting impaled on the spike numerous times over and over again and having to see it, it was a little bit gruesome, but I guess it's just putting more realism in our games, I suppose. Yeah, looking forward to the next Tomb Raider. Hopefully there is more emphasis on tomb raiding. That was my favorite part when I played the original games back on the PlayStation console. I just loved going through and exploring and stuff like that. So if we could have more of that and puzzle solving, that'd be a good thing. Looking forward to it. And last up today, I wanted to let you guys know that I didn't miss the launch of this incredibly popular game. I just haven't talked about it yet. That is Rocket League. This is a football game, or soccer if you live here in the States, where instead of controlling players, you control high-flying vehicles with rocket boosters that let you pull off all sorts of crazy moves. This game was made available on the PC and PlayStation 4 earlier this month, and it's absolutely taken the internet by storm. I mean, everybody is talking about this game, incredibly hyped up. Now, I haven't had the opportunity to sit down and play it, but I do plan to do so at some point. I don't know if I'm going to do any video coverage because the launch date and people wanting to see this game is so far gone. YouTube Rocket League right now and check out some gameplay. Looks really cool. I'd like to try it out eventually, and I just wanted to let you know, if you didn't already, this is a thing that exists. Alright guys, that is going to do it for today's episode of The Feed. As always, thank you so much for watching. Once again, this has been Force, and you have just been force-fed. To those of you out there who may deny the benefits of performance-enhancing drugs in video games, listen, I've never done drugs, I'm not a drug guy. If you are, fantastic, good for you. But what I can say is that this morning I had coffee. I never have coffee, and this has been the most productive day of my life. I did the laundry, I did the dishes, I took out the trash, I cleaned the litter box. I've done like 4 videos. I literally have done more today than I did in the entire past week. So all I'm saying is I need a nap. I'll see you later.